from Walker's Music, and we want to do another take here today on MIDI Man's World. And we've been kind of busy over the weekend, and we didn't get a chance to do any tutorials or anything else for that matter in the way of music concerning putting up material, fresh content on MIDI Man's World. And I'm hoping that this time the screen will allow me to capture this here. I got a question about the MIDI format and controller the other day, and I forget who it was that asked me about it, but at any rate, I'm going to try to do my best to try to demonstrate and to show you exactly to answer your question about the MIDI standard and the controller. I don't, MIDI man, myself, I don't have a quote-unquote controller as the word for like a standalone version controller, just a controller itself. Now, I got MIDI keyboards. Matter of fact, I got MIDI keyboards, and all my keyboards have got MIDI capability. My Casio here, as well as my Triton, all of them got MIDI capability that I use them as a controller to control my different software synthesizers, software instruments, and whatnot. Even to, you can use a controller or a keyboard controller, whatever, how you want to call it, to control other aspects of your digital audio workstations. And it will be, each case will be different, but the principle will be basically be the same. Now, to answer your question about your controller not having, you can't get any sound. No, you won't get no sound from the controller. And I think you answered your own question when you said that you knew that you could not get sound from it, but you still wasn't up to par with the standard. Well, I'm going to try to demonstrate you with my Casio keyboard. Now, mind you, now this is not a controller per se, but I'm using it as a controller. Cause I don't have a controller myself, but you would do the very, very same thing. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to be using a standalone version of a VST instrument, which is a Dimension Pro that comes with Cakewalk Sonar. And this is a standalone version I'm using right here to demonstrate this. Dimension Pro, and it's from Sonar. And basically, like I say, I don't know how your system is set up, but if you have your drivers loaded for your controller, and that your PC is talking to it, and it's talking to your PC, and everything's set up correctly, if you were using Dimension Pro, you will go here and you will click on that MIDI tab there. And you see that where it says, mine says SB Live MIDI port C800. That's because my MIDI keyboard, which is the Casio, is hooked up to my MIDI port on my sound card, which is a Sound Blaster Live card. And the way I test it out, I play my keyboard, and it playing the virtual instrument. So I got my instrument, my keyboard is talking to the virtual instrument. Now, I know I keep saying virtual. Let me tell you why. VST, if you don't know, VST standard came out back in '96, I think. Steinberg or Cubase, Steinberg. They were the company that came out with this standard. Awesome standard. Awesome. And it was in '99, I think, when they came out with 2.0 version, which upped the ante a little bit and went to the VST-I, which is that is what this Dimension Pro is, the instrument. And it gave us a way to where we could use a controller, as your question is, to control a virtual instrument inside of a digital audio workstation, in our case, Dimension Pro. Now, if you look here at my outputs, you see I got all those, I got 6 different outputs, 6 different channels of output I got on this here. Then I got the MIDI, and I'm not going to, well, I'm using ASIO driver. I'm using ASIO for all because they have low latency. I will recommend that anybody to use an onboard sound or even those non-professional sound card, make certain that you use the ASIO for all. That'll give you the lowest latency possible that when you're using for your anything with audio. And so basically that's about it. That's about all I can really tell you about the controller. It's just that it controls. See, I'm having some problem now with this thing because the sound quality of it. I think my sound card is going out on me, but I'm ready. I went out today and I bought me another one, so I'm going to be ready. I think I'm going to go ahead on and change that out as soon as possible. But essentially, that's about all I can tell you about. That's what a controller does, and it controls virtual instruments. It could be a drum machine, a piano, organs. We got all kinds of virtual organs. A virtual organ that I like is the B4. And they have another one out. I don't remember. I've been had it a long time. I don't even have it installed now. But that's what a controller does. A controller controls these things here, which is the MIDI, the VSTs, a virtual studio technology. That's what they call virtual studio technology, VST. And in this case, it's an instrument called the Dimension Pro. That could easily be a drum machine, like I say, or it could be an organ. Whatever, you know, whatever tickles your, floats your boat. You can control those and a controller controls those things inside of the PC. In other words, in the digital realm, a controller controls all the stuff that's on that particular instrument. Now, a controller also can act as can control other aspects of your digital audio, your workstation, your mixer, as well as other areas, or edit screen, edit windows inside of your software. You can assign things to a knob on your controller, and you can do that, and it'll move your fader. You can have faders on your controller if you got faders and knobs, and you assign them to the controls inside of your software, whether you use Cubase or Sonar or whatnot, and it'll alleviate you from even using the mouse or the keyboard. It's just, it's amazing that technology is great, and I take my hat off to Steinberg for coming up with this here technology. So, with that being said, I hope I've given you enough to at least get you up and going, and I hope that I've explained it enough for you can to at least get your thing hooked up. If you get it to talking, if you're used to using any kind of MIDI keyboard, the controller is the same thing. It's the same way. You hook it up, you load the drivers, and it's going to talk to your PC just as well as any MIDI keyboard will. It's on the same standard. That being said, it's MIDI Man, and I hope this will help you out. If not, you know how to contact MIDI Man. You know how to do it. I'm all over the net. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on StumbleUpon. I'm easy to find. And if you can't do that, go to my website at www.walkersmusic.com. Leave me a message. Send me a comment or whatever, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. It's MIDI Man saying peace. Goodbye.